Hello YouTubers, my name is Virality, and today we're going to be installing NetBeans and then connecting it to our LightSail LAMP server. Let's begin. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come onto netbeans.apache.org and we're going to hit the download link. And it's going to take us to this page where it will show us our operating systems. I use Windows 64. And then we're going to click on the top link here to install. Okay, once the installation is complete, we can now click on the Apache-NetBeans Installer. It's going to load up here. And then we'll hit yes. But you may notice that we have an error here, and that is because I do not have the JDK 8 or a newer version, and this may happen to you as well, so I wanted to show you this. So what we'll do is you can go to the link that they supply here, but I've actually got that in the description down below. We can hit Java downloads, and then we can install the one that matches our computer. And we'll click on the JDK installer. We'll hit yes. And we'll let that install. Hit next. We'll choose the file location. Okay, once it's complete, we can hit close. And we're going to reopen this installer for the Apache NetBeans, and this time it should work. So we'll hit yes, and as you can see we did not get the error this time, and it's installing. Okay, and we'll hit next, and we'll hit I accept, and hit next. Make sure it's in the right location, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to hit next. And check for updates, that's fine, we'll keep that ticked and hit install. Okay, once that has completed, we can hit finish. As you'll see, we have the icon on our desktop here, and we can actually just open that up. Okay, so now that we have NetBeans up and everything is running properly, we're actually going to start to create the connection to our LightSail LAMP server. To do this, we do it over a secure connection, which means we require a .pem file. We can get our .pem file from our LightSail instance. So if we go to LightSail, we hit home, we click on the instance, then we go down and scroll down on the connect page to account page, and then scroll down and you'll see we have two different sources that we can get a .pem file from. Now we want to get it from our static IP, the static IP we created in the last video. So I made sure to make that on Montreal CA Central -1, and so that's the one I'm going to download. Okay. Once you've downloaded this, you want to keep it in a secure location, somewhere that you'll remember as you may have to use it again. You also want to make sure it's in a location where it will never be moved, because every time you log into NetBeans or open up NetBeans, it'll be making this connection to the SSL. Okay, so to do that, we'll open up our folder, and we can see that it's downloaded in our downloads folder. And I'm actually just going to I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to go over to where I want to place it, and I'm going to hit paste, and there we go. So now it's in a secure location. We're going to use that in just a second, but there's one more thing that we're going to need to grab from LightSail before we continue. So we will go back to home, we'll hit the LAMP server, and we're actually going to open up our SSH client. And here we go. It's just going to take a second. And so the thing we're going to be grabbing from this is when NetBeans connects to the LAMP server, it uses a user. Now Bitnami has set up a Bitnami user on this instance, and it's just named right there. And with every user, there's a password. Now you actually have two users on this. You have the root user and you have Bitnami user. And so we need to grab the password for the Bitnami user. Now to do that, you can actually go into the documentation of LightSail and scroll down, and we can find this one line of code. Now I've gone and put that in the description so you don't have to search for it. You can also just copy it from the video as well if you need to. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to go back to the instance. I'm going to right click, hit paste, and I'm going to hit enter. Now of course my password is blurred out. I do not want you seeing that. You shouldn't show this to anyone else as well. So make sure that when you copy it and put it into a file, you put it into a safe location. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this, and then we're actually going to create a file. Now I created a file named password, and I already have it in here, but I'm just going to re-put it in there. And I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to exit out of that. And the reason why we put it into a file is because we actually use the password quite often, especially when we want to connect to PHPMyAdmin, because every time you log into PHPMyAdmin, it requires a password. So we've gone and done that. We can now exit the SSH client by typing exit and then hit the X. And we can now go back to NetBeans. So to create the connection in NetBeans, we're going to go up to File. We're going to hit New Project. We're going to go to this third one, PHP application from remote server, and we're going to hit Next. We're then going to go to the project name. I'm just going to change this to, I don't know, test. And there's the file location. I actually created a file location right here that I want to use. And then that should be good. Everything else there looks good. We're going to hit Next. On this page, we've got a project URL. Now that's going to be our static IP. So we're going to go back to the instance, and we're just going to copy the static IP here. And I'm going to hit copy and go back to NetBeans and paste it right there. There's a space right there, so just be careful you don't get caught out by that. Now it says no remote connection selected, so we're actually going to have to create a remote connection. To do this, we go to Manage. And we're going to name this, I'm just going to do test connection. You can name it whatever you like. We're going to change the connection type from FTP to SFTP and hit OK. Now we have hostname, which is going to be our static IP again. Leave it as port 22. Our username, like I said, is Bitnami. So Bitnami, like that, with a lowercase b. And then we're going to go to the password. Now this is why we have the file. We can open up the file, we can copy that password, and we can paste it right there. And then the private key as well. This is also why we want to keep it in a secure location. We're just going to grab it from, I have that located in that file, so I got to go and find that file. It was in Documents, NetBeans Project, and it's not there. Oh, it wasn't in NetBeans Project, sorry. It was in YouTube series. And there it is. It's the .pem file, so that's what we're going to want to open. Once you've done that, everything else is looking pretty good except from initial directory. In the last video, I showed you where the directory is. It's actually at home, then the user Bitnami, then htdocs. And so that is the initial directory, just to make sure I've got the S. So there we go, htdocs. And everything's looking good here, and I have a space up in the host name from when I copied the static IP. Okay, everything's looking good here. Before we hit OK, we just want to make sure the connection works, so we're going to hit test connection, and then we're going to hit yes to this warning, and connection succeeded. Perfect. So we'll hit OK. And then the upload directory, we're actually going to get rid of that, because we want this. We want home Bitnami htdocs. That is where the index.html file is located, and that is what we want to grab. So we're going to hit next, and we're going to hit yes. And as you can see, yours won't have this YouTube series. It should just have index.html. That's only there because I actually messed up prior to this video. So you should just see index.html, and we'll hit finish. And then we'll hit yes. And now our project should open up in the projects folder. We can hit source files and we can now open up the index.html file. And as you can tell, here is our index.html and here's the hello world we created in our first video. And that is as simple as that, and that is how you create the connection from NetBeans to your LAMP server on LightSail. So if you have any questions, if you got stuck on any parts, just let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to help. Please hit the like button if this video helped you, and I hope to see you in the next video.